Hey everyone, this is my first time ever making a long form video, so apologies if it's really bad and you hate my voice. I don't care. I kinda do, but shut up. So anyways, I used to mainly upload speed paints and stuff on shorts, but I'm kinda hoping to do more long form videos and stuff like that because that's really what I wanted to do when I first started YouTube. So hopefully this video will do well. Maybe 200 views, maybe 100, I don't know. I'm just making this video for the love of the game. Anyways, my name is Curtis, and I want to talk about my OCs because I have been so fixated on them for about the past year, and I've had a few people ask me to make a video about them and compiling all the lore, so that's what I'm going to do. This video is actually going to be a two-part series because I feel like this video is already going to be super long. I am not the best editor, and I also am very lazy and don't feel like editing all that. Also, my story is not finished, like, whatsoever. A lot of things will probably change as we go on, but just for now, you can take this as a lore. I probably won't change it for, let's go with the next year. So, for the next year this stays up, this will be the canon lore. Also, my OC story had some triggering content that, you know, might not be suitable for some people. So I'll put the trigger warnings up on screen right now so that you can, like, skip this video. You don't gotta watch it. But yeah, just please note that my story has mentions of these themes and these topics. So for like a quick summary or just setting like the theme, you know, just setting it, setting the story. My OC story is set from mainly the 2000s all the way to the late 2010s. It takes place in America, mainly in California and Texas. It focuses a lot on my OC Robbie, who's literally my favorite child, and he's my baby, and I know you shouldn't put favorites, but he's my favorite. I love him so much, oh my gosh. But it also focuses a lot on my OC Valerie, who's also my baby. She's my second baby, okay? Yeah. I really like my OCs, okay? This video will be focusing mainly on their childhood to late teens, so let's say, yeah, 18. The next video will be 18 and up. That won't be the theme, but it's gonna be 18. Yeah, you get it. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into the video. Robbie Zania Fly was born on April 8th, 1996. He grew up in a city in California that was about an hour away from Hollywood. His mom, Eliza Fly, worked in her own flower shop in the city, and his dad, Andrew Fly, was a retired Navy veteran. He also has a sister named Victoria, who was born about 3 years after him. He had a good childhood. He was closer to his mom and sister growing up, as his dad was just distant with him. Not that his dad, like, didn't love him or anything like that. They just didn't bond with much. Robbie was always more feminine as a child too. I mean, he's still feminine as a teen, but you know what I mean. He grew up wearing quote-unquote girl clothes, and he did a lot of tea parties with his sister. His parents didn't mind because they just wanted their child to be happy and express himself, no matter what anyone thought, because that's stupid. He got mistaken for a girl a lot as well, and his long hair did not help his case. He also wasn't very social as a kid. He had a small circle of friends, but that was really about it. When Robbie was 14 in September of 2010, he was at the mall with his parents. It was a few weeks before high school started, and he wanted some new clothes for the school year. He ventured off from his parents to go look at clothes in a certain alternative store. We know which one. Anyways, when he was looking for stuff around the mall, a woman approached him. She noticed his super long hair and his facial features and clothing styles, and she was like, "Have you ever considered acting or doing anything in Hollywood, really?" And he was like, "Not really." And the lady talks to him about how she thinks he has the looks for Hollywood and tells him about the company that she works for, which is called Starflower. They're a company that's mainly focused on teen and child actors. Robbie's intrigued, but before he can sign anything, his parents and his sister walk over, and obviously they're suspicious because a random woman is talking to their child. But she ends up, like, saying, "I'm not a weirdo, I promise," and they all end up talking about the opportunities that it would give Robbie and stuff like that, and his parents end up signing him up for it. Next week, Robbie shows up to the casting, and while he's there, he meets the manager of the whole company, whose name is Matthias. He gives Robbie some off-putting vibes, to say the least, but Robbie just thinks it's his anxiety. He tries out, and it's not really like a actual acting thing. It's just more of a why you should hire me kind of videos, and he ends up getting accepted. And he's very excited about it, of course, because he's finally gonna become an actor. So Robbie gets into a few small shows, background things, commercials. He ends up getting a pretty big role in an upcoming sitcom show. It's similar to things like Big Bang Theory or The Office. Well aware The Office isn't a sitcom, it's a mockumentary, but, you know, shows of that era. I still haven't named the show. It's been 4 years, but it'll probably happen eventually. Just wait 4 more years. His career is going well. He's doing fan meets, a bunch of interviews, but there's some stuff going on behind the scenes. Stuff he doesn't really want to talk about with anyone. I'm gonna give a trigger warning from here on out. This is where most of the triggering stuff comes in. So please click off the video if what I mentioned in the beginning triggers you. So there's a lot of misconduct within the workplace. The kind that Hollywood tends to cover up. Now, Robbie doesn't want to come out and say anything because what would that do? That just make him seem like the victim for his whole career. He doesn't want to be seen as the actor who was assaulted by his company. Now, his manager, Matthias, tells him that it's probably better if he hides it. It'll just ruin his career if he comes out. And Robbie hates when people worry about him, so he just stays silent. Now, Robbie ends up developing some not so healthy coping mechanisms. Oh no. And he just develops these because he has to deal with the stress of everything going on in the workplace and just the stress of being an actor. He starts self-harming, starving himself. This makes him feel numb for a while, but he wants people to talk about with this. Someone who could just listen to him, just literally anyone. So he joins the best site on the internet that a mentally ill teen could join in the 2010s. You know it, you love it, you probably forgot about it. Tumblr! Now Robbie ends up making an account name under the name Nyx. I'm not gonna name the account just for future reasons, in case I want to make it like a fandom thing, you know. I think that's cool. But anyways, he ends up on a certain side of Tumblr that was prevalent, very prevalent in the 2010s. If you know, you know. I don't want this video to get eaten by YouTube, so you can just fill in the gaps there. But he posts his vents on there, vague ones, because he does not want anyone to know that it's him. He also posts his body and the things that he does to himself. He gets a decent amount of followers. One of them really stands out. She sends him a lot of asks. Now, you might be wondering, who is this mysterious woman? It's Valerie. Valerie, full name Valerie Bell Jones, was born on January 11th, 1995. She grew up in a small town in Texas. Not super small, but they had 2 to 3 high schools, so relatively small. She grew up as a Southern Baptist. Her mom, Anne Marie Jones, was a stay-at-home mom, and her dad, Michael Jones, worked as a car salesman within the town. Her family was extremely religious and kept Valerie very, very sheltered for a lot of her childhood. She grew up mainly watching Disney movies, and she was not allowed any access to the internet, really. She didn't get to play Club Penguin, and she didn't get to watch SpongeBob. Worst childhood ever? Yeah. Horrible. She was extremely close to the church and just her religion in general. She prayed every night before bed, before she ate, just whenever she needed to. Her family went to church every Sunday and Thursday. She was always very closed off and nervous around people. Her appearance did not help much either. She was always taller and more stocky than most of the girls her age. She was bullied for this, but not in the traditional, oh my god, she's so skinny kind of bullying. Just in a, people ignored her. she also had a very hard time making friends because of this, which led her to drawing, which was an escape for her. She mainly drew a lot of princesses and animals and angels, just things that made her happy and things she grew up with. Going into her teenage years, when she was around 15, she was still sheltered by her parents, but she was allowed some internet access, although her parents heavily monitored it. She still went to church every Sunday, but she started feeling more disconnected from her religion. Now, she still believed in God, but not so much the way the church taught it. She was also just not feeling as happy and joyful as she used to. Being left out is affecting her more, and praying isn't helping. When she's in school one day, she hears a few girls in her class mention Tumblr, and she's curious to know what it is. She searches it up on the family computer and opens the website. Now, she doesn't make an account because she does not want her parents to find out that she was on this woke website. She ends up searching the tags, and she finds Nyx, aka Robbie, under the hashtag sad, because it's Tumblr, and of course that is a tag they used. She stalks his account for a little bit because she's a little freak and we love her. She decides to make a secret account and to scroll and send people ask. She starts sending Robbie, aka Nyx, asks about how his day was or how he deals with his depression. And fun fact, Tumblr is how she discovered gay people. Anyways, she asks Robbie if he wants to be friends on Facebook, and Robbie agrees. Now Robbie makes an account to talk to Valerie because he can't use his main, or that would expose who he is. I mean, not really, but we'll get to that later. They talk late at night because that's the only time when they really can talk. Robbie's busy all day, and Valerie's parents are monitoring her like 24/7. And they talk about all sorts of things: school, dealing with life, just literally being a teenager and existing. Valerie has literally never had someone she could be so open with, which leads her to get extremely, extremely attached to Robbie. Now, Robbie is slowly getting more and more depressed as the years go on. He's around 17 now, and his managers think it's time for him to start a music career, as it was really, really popular for child stars to start music careers. And Robbie agrees. It's not like he really had a choice, but he starts going to singing lessons, and he also learns how to play guitar because he's so cool. Robbie's been talking to Valerie for around a year and some months, and he's been slowly catching feelings for her. Hashtag e-dating. Anyways, even though she doesn't really know who he is fully, he knows so much about her and she knows so much about him. But in the end, Valerie doesn't truly know who he is. And Valerie, on the other hand, might care a little too much about Robbie. Valerie has been feeling less and less connected to the church as well. She believes in God, but everything the church has been saying is so different from what she's seen online. She's been seeing Robbie in such a different way than she used to. Before she saw him as someone who is struggling like her, but now she just sees him in almost a religious sense. Whenever she tries to pray, all she can think of is Robbie. In church, her thoughts are of Robbie. In school, Robbie. No matter where she is, he's in her mind. Anyways, she ends up accidentally praying to Robbie. She knows he's a human and he can't do anything, but it feels almost right. She doesn't tell Robbie this because she doesn't want to lose the only person who really knows her. So she stays silent. Robbie's music career is going really well. He's an emo-ish artist, emo adjacent. Starflower really wanted him to have a more pop music career, but Robbie was way more interested in emo music. It's the woke Tumblr influence. he really enjoys music, and his fans do too. He does have a stalker though. Well, at least that's what he thinks. The guy's name is Gavin. He's never really followed Robbie anywhere, but ever since Robbie has been doing meet and greets and traveling for tours, Gavin is there, without a doubt. Mind you, Gavin is 27 to 28. Most of Robbie's fan base is ages 14 to 20. He tries not to think anything of it, but he knows people can be really devoted to their idols. However, he's been receiving extremely weird texts of him just at places. Not like paparazzi photos, just like him going to the store or going on a drive with his mom, and it's really creeping him out. But he doesn't want to say anything because, again, he hates worrying people. He tells Valerie, and like not in a way that would expose him. He just says, I think someone has been following me and it's really scaring me. And of course Valerie is worried, because who wouldn't be, and she's telling him to call the police. Robbie's unsure, but ultimately he decides to trust Valerie. He tells his parents and they call the police. They end up investigating Gavin, and he has a lot of photos of Robbie, and even ones from outside his house, which is horrifying. He moved into Robbie's city so that he could stalk him. Luckily, he's arrested, but Robbie's anxiety and depression literally skyrockets after this. Eventually, it's Robbie's 18th birthday, which is a huge thing. He can take all the money out of his Coogan account, which, if you don't know, is an account specifically made for child stars, which keeps, I'm pretty sure, 15 or 20% of their funds that they can't withdraw until they're 18. He's also planning on moving out and continuing his music career, as the show he used to be on has ended. There's also something else he's planning to do. Tell Valerie who he really is. So, day finally comes, April 8th, 2014, and he texts Valerie, I need to tell you something, which is never good, and you should never text anyone that. And Valerie freaks the hell out, obviously, and she thinks that he found like something crazy about her, or that he doesn't want to be friends anymore. And so, literally shaking, she texts back, what is it? And then Robbie low-key sends his whole backstory, and he's like, TLDR, I'm a very famous actor and singer, but would you still love me? Would you still love me if I was a very famous actor and singer? Sorry. But Valerie's like, boy, who the hell are you? Because she's still very sheltered at this time. Even though she got like secret access to the internet, she doesn't really know a lot of different music artists. But she does some research, and she's like, oh my god, that's who I've been talking to this whole time? She doesn't make a big deal out of it in the DMs, but she is freaking out. They end up doing a Skype video call, and they talk for literal hours into the night. They plan to meet up sometime in the future, and eventually Valerie has to go because of her parents. Robbie feels lighter, and he thinks maybe life is looking up for him. He has no idea what's... And that's the end of part 1. I really hope this video was enjoyable, as it took me quite a bit to make, like 2 weeks. I'm really bad at storytelling, but I hope that you can mostly understand me. I'll try to get part 2 out by next week, but really no promises. Feel free to ask me questions in the comments as well. I hope you have a good day or night whenever you're watching this. I don't know what else YouTubers say at the end of videos. Bye.